Envy, yay or nay to this forest craft list?
I think this forest craft has been popular for a while. It's strong. I think it's been proven to be, one of the better ways to play forest right now, outside of maybe neutral. And doesn't exactly have the pitfalls that neutral does. So I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. And actually, I kind of wanted to get into, because I said that he wasn't playing a de facto OTK Roach deck. Let's actually see what his differences are, because Piao named this deck 70% win rate Piao Forest. This is his deck. He identifies with this deck. And
he's working on that secret website. He's gonna take down Mana Search. He's gonna 70% Piao deck lists.
Yeah. He's running only 2 Ancient Elves, and in place of the third one, he's running a Starry Elf to fetch Amulets. So that's an interesting include. He is playing... oh no, never mind. The third Ancient Elf is in there. It's just a different version of it. He's playing a Starry Elf, though. He is playing the Lilacs, which we've seen in and out of Forest decks a lot. He's only playing 2 Goblin Mages. And he's playing 3 Cassiopeias and 3 Crystalia Errands. So a really heavy top end as well.
It's an interesting list for sure. It definitely is. And like EPM, the Elven Princess Mage.
Elvis is back,
combo.
Everybody. Let's go.
Yeah, Elvis has been here the whole time. The Elven Princess Mage Tina combo, or Fina, sorry, rather, we haven't seen in a long time. 4 play points, put 2 0-cost fairies in your hand, followed by 5 play point Fina to put a 0-cost Goblin Mage in your hand, sets up for a very explosive Roach turn. That has just been like out of the meta for a long time. So
this is funny too. Like, this is probably the best hand, and you're on the draw. This is one of those decks where if you're on the draw, you feel amazing, because you can Elven Princess Mage into Fina and still have an Evo point left for the Roach combo on the 7th turn, which is exactly when you can go off. So I think Piao has about the best of it. He has pretty much everything he needs. He has a stall turn in Cassiopeia if he wants to use that on turn 6. Just perfect stuff right now.
I think we all know he's going to go for that perfect play, the Elven Princess Mage. He's going to evolve that. He's holding out. He's going to Nature's Guidance Lilac instead.
Wow.
What in the world is Piao doing?
He's being very respectful of Vetu's ability to deal damage here, I believe.
Well, I mean, Elven Princess Mage would have killed that menu also.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It could also be possibly an overdraw thing, because if you play Elven Princess Mage, you go up to 9 cards. You would have to play one of the 0-costers.
No, you'd go up to 8.
Oh, right. Nature's Guidance drew him an extra card there. That's right. Well,
right.
It replaced itself.
He was at 7 to go to 6 to go to 8. So.
Maybe I counted wrong. But in either case, I feel like
very weird.
Yeah, very weird. Ooh, okay. Doesn't respect Piao's damage, though. Vetu's like, you know what? You can hit me for 3. I don't care.
Well, I mean, Piao's got to crash both these in now, because he can't let that hit him in the face, so...
That's true. That's true, but they both survive. So I think Piao is in a nice position here. Of course, we are going to see a Garuda into... or from a Marcher's Tea Time, which we haven't actually gotten to see very much at all this season.
Mm-hmm. We talk about that play a lot, too. It's a very important play. Can also go double Black Inscripture into menu. It's possible.
That is a play as well. I think Garuda kind of tempos up a little bit better, especially for finishing off with Taurus.
It does.
The cool thing about these Finas and the Tea Times in this matchup is that 6 defense is actually very relevant, because I don't think any followers in the deck before like turn 8 can even deal with 6 defense followers, unless we're talking about Cassiopeia or something, right? Like, just honest like evos into it are very hard.
It is definitely very awkward. 3 damage on board, 0 play point, Goblin Mage with 1 Roach in hand and a Nature's, or double Nature's even, but there's no 0-cost fairies to buff anything.
Nope. And because Piao decided to do this more defensive game plan, he kind of took the combo approach away. from his style, and I think that's going to come back to bite him here. He's already at 6. We already know there's a Garuda and a Taurus in hand, so Piao has to win over the course of the next 2 turns. I don't think he can.
Well, 6 damage plus Goblin Mage, Roach, Nature's Roach Evolve is not lethal.
Yeah, he still has an
so...
Evo. He still has an Evolve. That's true. It is true. And actually, you're right. You're right. This might be too scared for V2 to actually play the Garuda here, and he's got nothing to pop with it, so he's not getting any advantage from it.
I'm sure he'd feel much safer if he could Garuda Black Inscripture, but he can't, obviously.
Can't do that. So yeah,
he's
maybe this is
set up
just
for
a script
next turn, though. No, he literally has to set up for lethal. He can't pass that up, I don't think.
Yeah, it's a rough spot. So let's actually count. So we've got 6 damage in play. We play the 0-cost Goblin Mage. We have 2 board spots to work with and 7 play points. So we can actually just full Roach combo with 1 spell, which means 12 damage from hand with 6 in play. We're looking at 18 plus Evo. Yeah, we're looking at plenty of damage next turn.
It's quite a bit. Goes for the Garuda, sets it up. I think Double Scripture felt safer, but you have to try to win, I think, when you're in this kind of spot, right?
In this type of matchup, absolutely. And you're also thinking, they have 1 0-cost card in their hand. They might only have access to 1 Roach, but of course we know that's not the case.
And there it is. 6 plus 9 plus 2.
So forget everything I was talking about with Piao going for combo. He knows how to play against aggro. I think Piao might be the best Forest player in NA right now. He brings it every single week in different fashions, and he always performs with it.
I really want him to explain that Lilac play. I really do.
Yeah. That would be a great question to ask him after
it looked very, very weird. Because like the Natures, if you're going for the Natures draw, right? Like what are you looking for? You set up a better board if you don't do that. I don't know. It was a very weird play, but it worked out for him. I mean, it obviously works.
Yeah. Yep. And he still was able to capitalize on a turn 7 win there. And I think it was mostly due to the fact that Lilacs have such a high defense that if they can stick and play, if any of your followers can stick and play in Forest, they turn lethal combo setups up just like we just saw. Normally with Forest matchups, we see them having nothing in play and going into their combo turns because all their followers are super small. So maybe Piao just knows, he's like, if I can stick a few of my followers here, I'll be in good shape. And that's exactly how it played out.
For sure. We see V2 trying again with his Storm Haven, but Piao's playing Fate's Hand. Did you notice that? Fate's Hand in his deck? And Chimera. This is interesting.
Well, I believe. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold the phone for a second.
Wait a minute.
Piao. Okay, yeah. Piao was playing D-Shift. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is a regular D-Shift deck, right?
With Telescope in it.
We saw it. I don't know if you saw last week's Piao game with Telescope. He turned an unwinnable D-Shift game into one of the best D-Shift wins I've ever seen. Like, that game was incredible, and it was because he had Telescopes in his deck.
As a D-Shift player, I find that hard to believe, but I also acknowledge the fact that D-Shift can probably do whatever it wants and get away with it. So
it was just the simple fact that he wrote Insights into Telescopes to then draw into the cards that he needed in the end of the game while also being able to spell boost. So he didn't have to use up a bunch of his play points in order to secure the win at the end. It was really fun to watch. That's one everyone should go back and watch. If you want to learn how to play D-Shift and you're thinking about playing Telescopes, that's the game.
I don't think anybody's thinking about Telescopes, but now why should they think about Telescopes, Exo?
You know why? Just because. That's
why. A good reason.
Watch the game last week, and that's all I'll say about it. But we're in the same situation we've seen before against Rune, where these Haven players are bringing things like White Tigers and Menus, and they are just so difficult to deal with.
But again, I do want to add this, that while yes, they are good, we keep seeing these situations in NGE where they don't actually matter because there's not any removal anyway that he could have casted. He's on 4 now on his first removal turn, so.
Yeah, this is. I don't think you can come back from this one.
But I think this is kind of like why V2, you know, chose not to ban this. Like he knew his Haven would beat this, right? He's playing cards that go against this, and he's got another list that's good against it too. So I think he expected this to happen. That's why we were taken aback so much. We were like, wait, D Shift made it through? I assumed this was Dirt Rune, right? But you know, I think this is
I actually highly agreed. I highly agreed with the bans because Piao brought a lineup where you can actually break a hole into it. He brought an OTK Roach combo deck, a D-Shift combo deck, and mid shadow. And Piao and V2 brought all aggro. So if you ban out the mid shadow, then you just have a field day against 2 combo decks. And I think that was a good spot to be.
Mm-hmm. And then it's kind of odd to bring, you know, like one list that doesn't fit the rest of your lineup, but it happens.
It does happen. It's just it's important to note because if you do something like that, and that's to say V2 could have had like a mid-range of control and all this other stuff, and it might not have mattered. But because he specifically brought an all aggro lineup, there is a hole in Piao's lineup. So just things you have to consider when you're bringing 3 decks to a format. Where are the holes, and what could happen if this happens? You know what I mean? Just think about all your scenarios. And I think Piao's feeling it right now.
I think he's highly considering what number of Golem Assaults do I toss back here. It's not more than 1. There's no way it's more than 1.
Right. You keep one of them. Maybe he's considering throwing back the D-Shift?
Oh. Ooh, throwing back the D-Shift. Okay.
It's like, I need early answers to fairies. I think that's his mindset.
Probably looking for, if I had to guess, maybe Angelic Snipe or Kaleidoscopic Glow, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Glow's Snipes, Magic Missiles. Yeah.
Yeah. Double Owl's very unfortunate. Ugh.
Yeah. I think this is just Owl Pass. Yeah.
Owl Pass feels so bad.
Yeah, especially in D-Shift. Not doing anything you'd like to do. And of course V2 draws a Wood of Brambles. Why wouldn't he?
Well, from his point of view, Wood of Brambles it's his best play. We know that. But it doesn't look that great, you know, like, because what if it gets glowed? You know, it could just get Kaleidoscopic glowed. And then, you know, if I don't trade, this thing dies for free, and then where am I at next turn?
That's true. I mean, I would probably trade here, even being the aggro player, just to get the advantage. And essentially to give away, you know, a target for Magic Missile or something like that. But you can assume he doesn't have Magic Missile because he didn't cast it on turn 2. So I like this. I like attacking.
Oh my gosh. I love the expressions that Piao is making while he continuously bricks. He is drawing not only non-boostable cards, but he's not drawing removal either. Concentration into double concentration is very bad. Very, very, very bad.
Yeah, concentration, of course, is the replacement, I think, the more de facto replacement for Sorcery Cash in the deck now. And Sorcerer Cash in the spot wouldn't be very good either. I mean, it might help that Chimera come out a little bit sooner, but Chimera against, you know, Aggro Force isn't the best card.
Right. I mean, Sorcery Cash is just, you know, now that you mention it, just to explain, people may not know why we don't play that card anymore, when it seemed like such a staple, is that with Magic Owl and Concentration in the deck now, it just too slow. Way too slow. It doesn't actually help you do anything. Concentration has flexibility in the sense that it can draw you 3 cards off an Earth Sigil while also healing you for 1. And then Magic Owl just takes care of all the boosting you care about anyway. So Sorcery Cash is just kind of a card that we cut for that reason.
And V2 is seemingly teched for D-Shift, right? And he's running a Haven deck that has Menus and White Tigers. He's running a Forest deck with 3 Lizas in it. Just very hard to deal with turns.
And we see Piao go for what I just mentioned. He drew 3 cards with that concentration. Didn't even, his hand's not even full. That's kind of weird for a D-Shift deck to not even have a full hand. But, you know, I think he's kind of paying for tossing back that D-Shift now. Like, when you toss back D-Shift, you kind of tell your deck, you're going to pay for it. You're like, I don't want to see this ever again. Just don't give me D-Shift ever again. It's fine.
That's right. And your deck's like, really? All right, bro.
The hunt has
You want me? I'm not coming.
It's only taken 7. You know, only taking 7 on turn 4. It's not that big a deal, right?
Light. Yeah. Plus, we see Roach with a Fairy Circle in hand and an Airbound Barrage for a bounce. If Piao doesn't get rid of this Liza, I can easily see Liza being picked up with Airbound Barrage if there's a target for it. Because I'm assuming that the Owl's going to come out this turn, or at least a ward from Golem Assault. But another Liza on the back of a full board would just be backbreaking for Piao as well. So I think Piao's just up against it. He knows it. He feels it. We can see it. This is rough.
This is definitely a very rough. RUFF, rough.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, that Blessed Fairy Dancer is scary as crap too, right? I mean, you replay that a couple times, it's game over
Ooh.
too.
Missile into D shift though, pretty nice. Can't remove anything else now though.
We
It
go
was
for
a
the
fairly
Liza, he
lucky
will not.
magic missile.
Yes. Finally, D shift to pop with Al, essentially, down for a couple more spell boosts. Another Liza drawn anyway.
Just go May into Liza, evolve something here. This looks really good for Vetu.
Yeah. Yeah, with a Roach backup plan on the following turn. Of course, Fairy Circle being one of the best enablers because it gives you 3 spells off of just itself.
I won't let you
Right, and this is going to be what we talked about in the beginning of the game. You know, it doesn't even matter that Fairy Circle Roach is in hand because this entire spell shield is on an entire board of V2s. This Chimera does nothing. Fiery Embrace does something, but Magic Missiles drawn wouldn't do anything. Giant Chimera definitely does nothing.
Yeah, that card, not what you want to see here. But yeah, Wind Blasts are turned off, Magic Missiles turned off. I think he might have to. Can he even play the Chimera this turn? It's on 2, so he can. So he'll have to Fiery and Chimera this turn and evolve the Chimera just to take 2 followers off the board. But with Roach in
He's
hand,
going to play a ward
I think...
also, but that Airbound Barrage is going to make sure that doesn't matter at all, so...
Right. Right, I think this is it. I think V2's
Just
got
a
it in a
game,
1 turn
yeah.
here.
Just gonna be game. Even if Piao cleared the entire board, right? Even if he cleared the entire board. Fairy Circle, Roach, Airbound Barrage, Roach. Evolve.
Yeah.
So, there's not anything you can do anyway.
Yeah, V2 with really incredible draws in these matchups. I mean, he is playing aggro decks, and they're going to look incredible when they draw the right followers at the right time, and V2 definitely did that, making these 2 games look super easy against D-Shift.
And this is kind of, this is kind of what happens to D-Shift, right? Like, it's a very strong deck, it's popular for a reason, right? On ladder and everything. But if you bring it to a tournament, you can get metagamed. You can just get, flip-flopped, and people can bring Liza, which no one plays. No one plays Liza, right? But in tournaments, it's very possible, so...
That's absolutely right. So V2 has any number of ways of winning this turn. He's just doing the straightforward Roach path.
He's feeling hungry.
I like the Goblin over the Fairy Circle. It's much cuter. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's cleaner. Big Nose Goblin.
Crisper, if you will.
That's right.
Hopefully he kills the Chimera also with the Fairy. No? Okay, kills with the Fairy. Okay,
Saving
I like
the
it. Not even
and
Roach.
V2
Wasn't even Roach. Roach is not even good.
Convincingly telling Piao, D-Shift, not a good option.
And it really feels like that's what he was targeting, right? In the Haven game, he just tempo with the Mania and the White Tiger. He played dudes.
That is
a nightmare, right? When you're